First, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Bishop Lafer, and I am the Marketing Developer Analyst here at ITX Broker. So I am one of the developers responsible for our marketing site, and I also manage all of our pay-per-click campaigns, along with the analytics. Today, we are here to talk about SEM versus SEO and why or which is best for your real estate site. We've got a lot of ground to cover and not a whole lot of time, so we did leave some time at the end for questions. So if you have a question as we go, just throw it into the questions box and we will address them at the end. So let's go ahead and get started. SEM is search engine marketing. Essentially, it is internet marketing that increases your site's visibility in search engines such as Google and Bing. One aspect of SEM is SEO, or search engine optimization, which consists of things that you can do to make your site list first in organic search results. Another aspect of SEM is PPC, or pay-per-click advertising. You can pay search engines to have your site appear above organic search results. There is a common misconception that SEM is PPC, which is incorrect. PPC is SEM the same way that SEO is SEM. They're both different aspects of search engine marketing. So which one is better, SEO or PPC? Neither. It's a trick question. In order to be successful, you will need to utilize both. Your organic search placement is affected by both SEO and PPC. On the slide here on the left, you'll see a search results page with organic listings. So Eugene Golf Course Homes was the query, and if you look, it's kind of a little fuzzy, but Oakway Golf Course Real Estate listed first, and that's actually one of our clients. Also, just a note, the key term Eugene Golf Course Homes would be a good thing to advertise on in PPC because no one else is bidding for that, and so it would be cost effective and you would be number one organically because there's no one else competing for that. On the right side is search results page with paid advertisements. So those two listings are actually ads that someone paid for via Google Adwords. So relevance. Relevance is key. Ultimately, search engines want people who are using their product to find what it is they are looking for. When a user searches on the internet, are they going to find what they're looking for on your site? To list first in organic results, your page content needs to be relevant to the search query. And when it comes to PPC, another word for relevance is quality score. Do you really provide the service that you are saying you do in your ad? This is important because your quality score directly affects your cost per click. The higher your quality score, the more likely your ad will show, and the less it will cost you per click. So let's take a closer look, starting with SEO. ITX Broker provides several features and benefits to help with relevance, such as custom subdomain, title meta and OG tags, details pages, saved links, subheaders, and XML sitemaps. By using a custom subdomain, your site becomes much more indexable by a search engine. Title meta and OG tags will help search engines know what content is on each page by describing the page's content in the header directly where the search engine crawlers will be looking for it. ITX Broker dynamically generates keywords like listing number, description, price, state address, display name, city, or subdivision for each and every listing page. Another effective SEO strategy is to use keywords in your URL. For instance, you can use address, the MLS or listing ID, city name, zip code, and/or state abbreviation to create a custom URL for every listing on your ITX subdomain. Details pages are the bulk of your property information and can be used together with saved searches to make the specific addresses easier for search engines to find. The combination of dynamic title, text, meta descriptions, and custom URLs will increase the number of ITX pages indexed by search engines. You can also generate an XML sitemap that you can upload to Google Search Console or Bing, and more. The XML sitemap tells the search engines what pages on your site should be indexed. If you would like to learn more about Google Search Console, we will be holding another webinar in the beginning of December on Search Console specifically. Doing all of these things will increase your organic search placement. However, the fact is top search results will always be dominated by those who have paid to be there. So for PPC, ITX Broker also provides features and benefits that are designed to help with PPC. So pay-per-click advertising, such as Google AdWords or Bing ads, can be very intimidating. It's incredibly easy to spend a lot of money and get no results. We suggest that you consult an expert or pay them to manage your campaigns rather than try and do it yourself. Some of the features and benefits that ITX Broker provides for PPC advertising include city links, custom property type labels, and conversion tracking. Aside from conversion tracking, these features are not only useful for PPC, but also for overall user experience. City links and custom property type labels will help your users navigate your site. As far as PPC is concerned, the city links help localize your site so you can bid on keywords like Eugene real estate or homes for sale in Eugene, Eugene realtor, or Eugene real estate agent. Custom property type labels allow for you to bid on keyword phrases like waterfront homes for sale or condos for sale. An effective strategy would be to bid on phrases that combine both, such as single-family homes for sale in Eugene. You can also add conversion tracking code to your registration page. If someone clicks on your ad, views a property, and fills out a lead registration form that you have set up as a conversion, you will be able to see which campaigns are the most effective. Conversion tracking is also necessary in order to determine your return on investment. So with that, we've left a lot of time at the end to answer specific questions. I see Abraham said subdivisions are no longer available for SEO on ITX Broker. So you can make a save search and save that as a save link for a specific subdivision to search by address or area, or you can even use a Polygon search. So yeah, you can use Polygon search to create a custom save search and then add that as a save link to one of your pages on ITX Broker, and then that will work for a neighborhood or a subdivision. David asked if we could go over the tools that ITX Brokers offers for improving organic results. So let's go back to this page. So custom subdomain is probably the most important one. By adding a custom subdomain, your site becomes more indexable. Rather than having idx.your.url, you make a custom subdomain and then generate an XML sitemap and upload that to Search Console, and then that will tell Google how many pages should be indexed. And then having the dynamic title, meta, and OG tags all properly implemented on each of those pages will make sure that when the search engine crawls your site, it will know exactly what content is on each page. So these meta tags, this is how you're supposed to tell a search engine what your site has on it and what your content. For save links, this is the SEO friendly URLs, so you can use the address as your save link. So this is what I was talking about for subdivisions. You can create a Polygon search in your specific region for that subdivision and then save it as a save link, and you can put the city name, state abbreviation, address, or subdivision name, whatever you would like in the URL, and that will also get added to your sitemap and then will be indexable by search engines. All right, so Glenn asks, if we find subdivision or developments not shown in IDX but in the MLS, how do you notify us?
Yeah, go ahead and just email us, help@idxbroker.com, if you're missing a subdivision. We only bring in live data from the MLS, so sometimes there'll be a subdivision that you want to search for, but it might not have an active listing in it, and therefore won't show up. There are ways around that with editing your URL or your string in IDX Broker, apart from just picking from the dropdown. But yeah, go ahead and just email us and we'll walk you through that and help you get that back into your search.
Okay, Kelly asked, I am managing marketing for my real estate client and we are both new to IDX Broker. Are these tools meant to be used in conjunction with Google AdWords and analytics? Yes, absolutely. In order to be successful, you definitely need to be using analytics. If you want to have any idea of whether or not your PPC campaigns are successful, then you want to link your AdWords and analytics accounts. And you also want to set up conversions. So like I was talking about earlier with the adding conversion tracking to your registration page, if someone clicks on your ad, comes to your page, views a listing, and then fills out a registration form, that comes through as a lead. If you can determine the number of leads that you convert on and what the value of each converted lead is, then you can tell how much money you would be willing to spend to get a highly qualified lead. And then based on that, compare it to the amount of money you're spending on pay-per-click advertising to determine your return on investment. And the only way to track that is to use analytics. And now with universal analytics, Google's actually made it really, really easy with auto tagging. So if you link your two accounts and then go into analytics, you can turn on auto tagging in analytics, which will track form submissions as a conversion automatically. Or you can go in and set it up as a goal and assign a value to it so that you can see just directly in your reports how much money each lead is worth, and then you can easily compare it to how much money you've spent. There's a really useful support article about SEO specifically that has links to all of these features, and it's got information on how to implement them. And also, if you're having trouble, feel free to reach out to us. You can call us or schedule a demo with support, and we've got someone who will be more than happy to walk you through setting all of these things up for your site. How do you change the OG title for each page? So it's under page preferences in your details under IDX/details/listings. If you're having trouble with that, you can always call support, and we've got someone who will help walk you through that. Regarding rich snippets, is IDX Broker coded and optimized for that? Is there something we can do on our end? So yeah, custom subheaders. You can put any content into custom subheaders. So anything that you put into your subheader will go onto any page. So if you want to use rich snippets, then you can definitely put them into your custom subheader, and that will work just fine. Al asked if we were going to demonstrate implementing SEO on IDX Broker. So it's not, the idea of this webinar was just to give like a high level overview and then kind of qualify what the general interest was to make another webinar that's more specific in Q1 of 2018. I'm not actually going to demonstrate how to do any of those things, but like I said, if you have any problems or any questions, we have a great support staff who would be more than happy to help you out. Michael asked if there are tutorials. We do have a knowledge base, which is located at learn.idxbroker.com, that has a lot of information on how to implement all of these things, and we always have a great support staff to help anybody out. Basic question, if OG tag tells what is on content, what does title and meta do? So an OG tag is Facebook specific, but search engines like Bing use a knowledge graph from Facebook to provide relevant searches. So it's important for Bing specifically. The title and meta tags are more specific to just search engines in general. So Google's looking for a title, a relevant URL, and then a relevant description in the meta tags, and they all need to match what the actual content on your site is, especially if it's image heavy with listings. Google doesn't know what the image is, so you've got to tell the search engine what the page content is, and then as it scrolls down, it's looking for, in the text of your HTML, needs to be 3 to 5% of the keywords that you want to list for. So like the neighborhood name should be listed once, the city name, the state, just to make sure Google's verifying that all of that stuff makes sense and is what you say it is. John asked, is it better for SEO to build out neighborhood pages on our subdomain or use widgets and create neighborhood pages on our main site? I would say do both and use save links for neighborhoods, and then you can even build a page that specifically has the neighborhoods in your region broken out and just listed as a set of links. And that would be really useful because then it's like backlinking on your page. So you have, and that's also the navigation thing too for users. As a user comes to your site, they can search for a neighborhood, but also if you just have like a neighborhoods page where they can just browse through neighborhoods and click on a link and then it's all the listings in those specific neighborhoods, that would be useful for a user, and it's also useful for SEO. And that's another example of how you can implement custom URLs and save links together. Where's the page preferences showing on your screen? So this is just a page on our marketing site that describes the SEO meta tags, which is linked in the slides. All right, so Kim asks, I manage a marketing for a home builder. Our listings feed via IDX to our website. When a user clicks on an IDX listing, it shows up as a bounce on the website. Do you know how we can combine the activity in Google Analytics? So in Google Analytics, you could do cross-domain tracking, or if you want to not count it as a bounce, you can add a non-interaction event. So that just like, essentially you can set a non-interaction event on page load so that when the page fully loads, basically you send a non-interaction event and that will not count as a bounce, because what a bounce is when someone comes to your site, doesn't interact with anything in your page, like doesn't go to a second page on your website and just leaves immediately. That's considered a bounce. So you could put a non-interaction event for on page load that would prevent that from counting as a bounce, or you could put scroll detection on your site so that if a user scrolls a certain percentage of the way down your page, then it fires an event and that will prevent that specific visit from showing up as a bounce. Or you could do cross-domain tracking, and that way it won't be considered as a bounce, because if you're doing cross-domain tracking, when a user clicks in to the IDX page, analytics will no longer see it as them leaving your site. Instead, they're just going into a second page deeper within your site, and that would prevent it from showing up as a bounce. So there's a couple of different things that you could do. Glenn asks, with SEO-friendly URLs, can we add any field from our MLS that shows an ITX broker?
You can use most of the fields. I do believe that there is a list of them in support.idxbroker.com. Just search for SEO, and you can see how to change those URLs. But yeah, I would play around. You can do, I believe it's within double curly brackets, and you can try to find the field names in your searches and throw those in there and see if they work. I do know that the URLs are going to be a little bit different fields from what you can place in like your keywords and stuff like that. But yeah, in there should be a list, even if you able to drag and drop those when you go to your page preferences.
Abraham asks, since I am upgrading to Platinum and 301 redirect will apply, at what point to add the new XML to Google? Wait or do it right away?
When you do change from our original platform to Platinum, there are 301 redirects from your original subdomain to your new account. You can go ahead and put that XML sitemap in as soon as you upgrade to Platinum, and that'll take all the new links, and it'll make those available to Google, so they'll be able to find those right away. Just do it once, though. If you do it multiple times, it'll slow down Google, and I'll have to start over again.
You can always schedule a walkthrough with support, and one of our staff members will happily walk you through setting up these features. We want you to be successful, and that's why we provide support, and that's one of the reasons that we stand out so much in the industry, is because we have this great support team that really genuinely want to help you be successful. So please reach out to us either via the phone or schedule a demo from our marketing site. If I go to idxbroker.com, show you where you need to go, click on support up here, and then there's a contact us button down here. You can either email us this way. So here on learn.idxbroker.com, this is the article I was talking about that's really helpful for search engine optimization. So this specifically has a lot of information on what features are useful and how to implement them. We also have creating a save link. So there's instructions on how to create a save link. And if you can follow these instructions and set it up yourself, then by all means, that's awesome. If not, please do reach out to us. We archive all of our webinars and host them here on this page. So there's a lot of information a lot of useful information contained here. I'll go ahead and throw the link in to the chat. Okay, so Mark asked, what about a video for the different linking of analytics like you were talking about earlier? Is there anything available to watch? So the linking of those accounts isn't actually something that you do in ITX Broker. It's something that you do in your Google account. There are a lot of really useful resources. For instance, Google Analytics Academy, e-commerce analytics, Tag Manager. I'm not sure, not everybody's using Tag Manager, but Google Analytics for beginners is a really good one to watch or to go through. It's like a training. Basically, it's like a class, and then at the end you can get a certification. But it's got campaign and conversion tracking information at the very end, so the last one. I would recommend going through all of it because Google Analytics is it's priceless as far as how useful this tool is. But if you wanted to go specifically into the AdWords and analytics linking, then Unit 4 has that information specifically. And just like there's Analytics Academy, there's also Google AdWords Academy. And there's a lot kind of going on in the AdWords Academy. There's 6 certifications as opposed to just the one for analytics. But there's also really useful information in this. But like I said earlier, we definitely recommend that you consult an expert because it is very, very easy to spend a lot of money and see no results. However, if you do spend a certain threshold, I think it's $10 a day, then you can talk to a Google Liaison. However, the $10 a day threshold, the Liaison may not necessarily be the most helpful person because they're not specifically assigned to your account, and they help a lot of people out, and so they just kind of give you a generic, these are the things that you should do. And sometimes it doesn't work out. For instance, we have a dedicated Google Liaison, and I've spoken with her in the past couple of weeks, and she recommended that I made some changes, and our conversion rate went way down over the past couple of weeks, and so I had to undo some of the changes that we made. And that's just one of the things that kind of comes with the the game in PPC is like some things work and some things don't. No matter what, it always takes time to find out what is going to work, like a minimum of 2 weeks. You have to give your campaigns a little bit of time to be able to tell whether or not they're effective. And also it takes some day-to-day refinement as far as seeing what search phrases that your ads are showing on. Are they relevant to what it is you're trying to sell? Are you getting conversions and going in and adding negative keywords? And there's just a lot that goes into PPC. And so that's why it's really beneficial to either consult with an expert or pay someone to do it for you, because that way you're guaranteed results. And if you don't get results, then you can take it up with the company that you're paying. Adrian also asked if there's any big changes coming for ITX Broker on the way. Yes, there are a lot of big changes that we will be rolling out through the end of this year and into Q1 of next year. A lot of exciting stuff. One that's going live in the very near future is My Listings Manager. HTTPS is already available. How do we switch to HTTPS? It's a toggle within your main dashboard in middleware.
No. HTTPS does not work if your actual site is not HTTPS. Then that would cause conflict between your site and with the ITX Broker site.
All right, so I'm going to throw this link in here.
That is correct, Jim. First, you change it on your host. Once you have that HTTPS address and SSL certificate on your site, then you'll come in and turn that on in ITX Broker.
All right, so I think that's about the time that we had for today. I appreciate everyone showing up and asking all these really great questions. We have more webinars coming up in the near future. Next is a ITX Broker for Beginners platform overview, which will be 2 weeks from today at 11 a.m. Also, if you feel like we didn't answer any of your questions, please feel free to reach out to us, contact support, send us an email, give us a call. We would love to work with you and make sure that you are successful. Thank you guys very much for your time.